My work is essentially an attempt to understand my own masculinity. For a time, I was a boy. I did boy things. I'm no longer a boy, but all these things remain somehow woven into the man. Boyhood is created for the child, not by the child. The journey was shaped for me before my birth, before I had any sense of myself. The gendered certainty of my heteronormative boyhood, established in words, images, and objects, was shaped by every other person who sustained or was complicit in upholding a patriarchal masculinity that was exclusionary by design. It's been important to understand my artwork as an expression of the conditions which have shaped who I am. I'm interested in the idea that abstract ideas are sometimes considered to be gendered. So we might look at such things as mechanics, electronics, construction, and implicitly read them as masculine concerns. I've also been exploring the idea of red flags, the things that women, in particular, might consider to be a warning about potential toxicity in men. I've been making simple machines that wave red flags that are loaded with comments that are stupid and accurate, all at once. So one might read, far too interested in protein. These motorised red flags, when articulated, become acts of protest against a certain type of patriarchal masculinity.
My practice is in photography and videography and is informed by three main considerations, being history, psychology, and anthropology. This usually manifests as analog prints that explore physical space and the experience of being in a certain place and time. Whether it's with my large format 4x5 camera or a smaller Super 8 camera, I'm fanatical about only using celluloid film instead of digital sensors, both for their tangible physicality as well as the encouragement of recycling through second-hand cameras. My main references come from classical European church painting as well as landscape painting and photography. My activity for this exhibition, instead of running a workshop, I wanted to contribute by recording everyone else's workshop with my Super 8 film camera to create a video compilation of the work that went into the exhibition. Since my camera is very simple and easy to use, it's intended to be an interactive experience where all papayas can record bits themselves, and therefore the outcome is a product of all of us instead of just me. The aim was to highlight the collaborative nature, the skill-sharing process, and the collective outcome of the exhibition. And my outcome is a 2.5-minute digitally projected silent video of the scanned motion picture film that I recorded.
Mapping memory, geometric abstraction and spatial narrative. Yin My practice explores the relationship between space, geometry, and emotion through semi-abstract painting. I investigate how personal memories and spatial perception can be translated into visual compositions, often using a combination of geometric structures and organic forms. My work is influenced by the idea that spaces hold emotional traces, and I experiment with layering techniques, color fields, and abstraction to evoke a sense of movement and depth. My activity. This workshop connects to my artistic exploration of spatial perception and emotion by guiding participants to construct abstract representations of personal memories using geometric shapes and mixed media. The activity encouraged participants to think about how space influences their experience and emotions, and to experiment with abstraction as a storytelling tool. It aligns with Papaya Salad's broader goal of skill sharing and collaboration, fostering a creative dialogue about space and memory among artists. The aims are exploring the relationship between personal memories and spatial abstraction, experimenting with geometric composition, layering techniques and color to evoke emotion, develop an intuitive approach to abstracting space through mixed media, and collaborating on a large-scale collective work that visualize shared spatial narratives. Outcomes. Each participant will create an individual abstract piece based on a personal memory of space. Elements of this work will then be integrated into a large collaborative composition, forming a collective spatial memory maps. The final outcome could be exhibited as a unified installation, allowing for an interactive and layered exploration of memory and space.
My practice is influenced by memories, experiences, fantasy, and folklore. I'm interested in the space between what is real and what is not, between life itself and the dream of life. I enjoy exploring this in-between and combining these elements to create a new reality. This project blends themes of reality, dreams, and personal narratives into a tangible artistic experience. The idea of using everyday materials such as styrofoam fabric for printmaking is particularly fascinating because it encourages participants to recognise the potential in the ordinary, highlighting the beauty in often overlooked objects. By incorporating these elements, participants not only create art, but also reflect on their own journeys and their relationships with what is real and what is imagined. This approach involves a series of intricate steps, each contributing to a rich, meaningful journey. Rather than fixating solely on the end results, we empathise the importance of the process itself, celebrating each mistake as a valuable learning opportunity. The aims: inspire participants to reflect on the space between what is tangible and what is imagined, integrating these reflections into the creations of their artwork. Teach participants various printmaking techniques, including styrofoam and fabric stamping, allowing them to experiment and expand their artistic toolkit, with a focus on the value of upcycling, to help participants enjoy making process instead of worrying about the outcome, enjoying them to learn and to make mistakes. The outcome is for each participant will create a body of work that reflects their individual interpretation of my theme. My goal was to gather a collective of pieces from each participant for the exhibition, creating the process of creation while also valuing the importance of trial and error.
Entitled Jessica Babini Baker. My practice. Reflecting on my heritage, I explore location and capturing time through fibre art. I create tapestries or case studies that allow me to observe and work presently in response to local visits. Through depicting coastlines, areas of exposed deep time, I explore my own Italian heritage through the use of techniques women in my family would have used. For me, weaving serves as a way to bridge the language barrier between my family by using a visible language made of fibres. While my depiction of eroded areas that expose the Earth's history serve as a metaphor for my work's exploration of my own deep time. My activity. As my practice focuses on shared knowledge and weaving, my workshop will involve me teaching the participants to tapestry weave. I will give a brief introduction in tapestry weaving, its history, and its place in the contemporary art world. I will then demonstrate how to begin the tapestry and guide participants through starting theirs and how to progress. Depending on the ability of the group, there is also the option of teaching different techniques as well. Participants will continue to weave until the frame, makeshift loom, is full. However, there is no pressure to complete the tapestry. Aims: to work on a slow process and complete a small tapestry, to gain a deeper understanding of the material, to work in a group environment to share ideas, thoughts and experiences with yarn and other fibres, to acknowledge the rich history of tapestry weaving. Outcomes. The outcome will be a collection of individual tapestries from each participant. In terms of displaying the work, I would like the works to be hung on the wall, still in the looms they were made in. Not only would this relieve pressure to complete the tapestry, it would also share insight into how the tapestry was made.
My practice. I am an artist photographer whose work explores people and land through the lens of my camera. By using large format analogue and contemporary digital media, I want my work to embrace a digital dialogue with photographic history while attempting to document and offer commentary on contemporary society. For this activity, we have explored how photography might be used to articulate the inspirations and experiences of artists living in Southampton. My activity. I will first give a demonstration of camera controls, how to frame a shot, and how to use the lens zoom ring. We will then have a brief look through the photography books or slides showing how others have used photography to describe their environment. The next step is a photo walk. This will be a slow stroll around the city guided by the participants' knowledge of the area. Each participant will take the group to a place in the city that inspires them, and everyone will be encouraged to take photos at each location. Upon return to the Alfred Arcade, the images will be reviewed and we will discuss the similarities and differences in our image making. The aims are to learn new photography techniques, offer alternative ways for participants to engage with the environment, encourage participants to explore their memories of the environment and how this shapes their perspective of the place. The outcomes are to create a collective display of images that represent different perspectives on familiar spaces.